Guys, it's Tanya. We just released a new meal plan, so I wanted to take some time to come on and show you exactly what it looks like to put your new plan into Modern Meal, which is our new app and website that's available for premium Meal Squeeze subscribers. So I'm on my desktop computer. I think that you have the most flexibility and the most options if you can at least build your plan from your computer and then do your shopping from your app. But I'll do another tutorial about what you can do from your phone as well, so you can look at that. But today I'm going to show you what it looks like on the computer. Okay, so I've logged into Modern Meal and I'm at my dashboard, which is my home screen. Okay, so there are two ways that I can get to the new meal plan that I just got sent. I can go up here to my notifications, and you can see Tanya sent you the week of July 30 meal plan. I could click on view plan here and go from there. Or the other option is if I go to my planner, which I can get to by clicking here or by going to the drop down menu here and go to the planner. So that's your calendar. On the left hand side here, you can choose from this drop down menu whether you want to add recipes, meals, or meal plans. So if I select meal plans, I will actually be able to see all the different meal plans that I've ever gotten sent by Meal Squeeze. So that's super nice because a lot of you have asked if there's a way to archive old plans, and this is how. So I already did the week of July 23, so I'm going to work on this July 30 meal plan. So the first thing that I'm going to do is click this preview button. This allows me to open up the recipes and see what they look like before I actually add them to my plan. So maybe I want to look at what's with the barbecue pork chops. The prep time that's listed is how much time you'll spend on that recipe on the weekend prep list. And then the cook time is how much time it will take you on the day you're actually cooking it, okay? And that's roughly, I know everybody doesn't chop and cut at the same speed, but that's a pretty good guess. So this shows you what your ingredients are. You know, here's our cooking instructions, and I can also see the nutrition information, okay? I can close out of that. I can look at all these different recipes if I want to. So now I'm going to close the preview. And now I'm going to grab this little arrow button and actually drag it onto my calendar. So I want to start it on Monday, July 30. So I drag it to there and it says, are you sure that's the day you want to start? And I say, yep, I'm sure. Okay, so this is really nice. The meal plans are sent to you in our standard four serving size, okay? But right here, it asks you, do you want to change the number that it serves? So I can say no, and it'll add it to my calendar as 4 servings. Or I can say yes, and maybe I want to go up to the 6 serving plan. And you actually can go higher. You know, our PDF copies, we have 2, 4, 6, or 8, but I could go up to 10 if I wanted to. But I'm going to go with 6 and click done. Okay, so it takes just a little bit and it's going to add it to my calendar. And it said my meal plan has been applied. And it kicked me back a week here. Okay, so now those meals showed up in dinner for that week. And remember, we go Monday to Sunday, so that last recipe is over on Sunday, August 5. Okay? So now you can see it put everything in as 6 servings. Now let's say that Wednesday, I know my kids are going to be gone and I don't want any leftovers. I can use this little plus or minus button and I can turn just that recipe down to maybe 2 servings. Just me and my husband are going to eat it. Or I could go to 4, or maybe I want to make extra of it. This is the chicken bacon ranch wrap, which you can actually make totally ahead. So maybe I want to make 8 servings and I'm going to pack it for my kids to eat when they're gone, or I'm going to bring some for lunch, whatever. So I can go up and down however I want, and that will be reflected on the grocery list when I build the grocery list. So it'll all be scaled, which is super duper nice, okay? So another thing that I can do from this screen is I can plan my breakfast and my lunch and my snacks if I want to. I can also move around my dinners. So maybe if I don't want one meal, what I can do is I can just click on it and I can click remove recipe if I don't want it. Or I could copy it to another place, or I can move it, but maybe I just want to remove this one, okay? So now that'll be gone. That won't show up on my grocery list. And if I want to add a different recipe in there, what I can do is go over to the side here and instead of being on meal plans, I'm going to go to recipes. Maybe there's an old meal squeeze recipe that I like to come back to. Let's say the panini. That's a really fast, easy one. So here's my roast beef panini. I can grab this and I can drag it over to that day that I just deleted the pork chops from. It's going to be on 4 servings because that's the standard, so I could turn it up to 6 if I want to, okay? So I can move those things around however I want. Now let's say breakfast, I eat eggs and toast for breakfast almost every day, but I want to put it on my menu just so I make sure I get the groceries for it. What I can do is I can click Add Ingredient. So I clicked those 3 dots on the corner there, and I'm going to put eggs. And it's going to come up. I'm going to click Add, and then at the bottom I say how many I want. So let's just say I'm just going to make the eggs for myself. Maybe the rest of my family is going to grab cereal or something. So I'm going to put 2 large eggs, and then I have toast, or you could put it in as bread, either way. And I'm going to have 1 slice of toast, and then I have 4, I don't need to put 4 there. I'm going to have a little bit of orange juice every morning that I have my probiotic in. So I'm going to put 4 ounces of orange juice. So this is kind of nice if I want to see like where I'm at for nutrition. So then I have what I want for breakfast, and I can click Done, and it puts those in there for me, okay? Now, what I can do, since I eat this almost every morning for breakfast and I don't want to have to put it in individually each day, if I click these little dots again and go right here to save to my meals, it's going to make just like a little mini recipe for me, right? So I can name it Eggs and Toast and OJ, and I can tag it. It's a breakfast recipe. I could put in that it's dairy free. This one's not gluten free, so I'll take that out. I could tag it however I want to, and then click Save. So now it says it created the meal, eggs and toast. So now, remember on this search thing, if I had recipes, meals, or meal plans. So now if I select meals, there's my eggs and toast and OJ that I just created. So now I can use this little arrow and I can drag and drop that onto every breakfast that I want. So if I'm trying to keep track of my calories or sodium or whatever for the day, that'll all be added up at the bottom here. So I've got that, and it will tally these and put them on my grocery list. Now this is just 1 serving of this, right? So if I want to make sure that there's enough for my husband to have every day too, I'll turn that up to 2 servings. My kids pretty much split 1 more serving, so maybe I would just do 3 servings for all of these for breakfast, okay? So that's how you can add a meal. You can also just put in a single ingredient. So say for snacks, I want to add Greek yogurt. I can add in, I usually just get the big one. Let's just do this Oikos Greek yogurt, okay? So we'll do 1 cup or container, add done, and now that's on there, okay? So once I have my week the way that I want to, maybe I want to go in and I want to put in all my lunch recipes. There are a couple different things that you can do there. Like I said, you can go to recipes, and that will give you, under my recipes, it'll give you all the archived meal squeeze recipes. If you go to partner recipes, this is where you have access to recipes from professional chefs, other dietitians, other health professionals, and a lot of these are really good for if you have food allergies or certain dietary restrictions. There's a lot of recipes here that are really friendly to those. So, and then you can use these filters, and you can filter out, maybe you're looking for paleo or keto or a certain style of cuisine. You can actually exclude, maybe you have to exclude nightshades or something, so you can put in there your tomatoes and peppers and whatnot. So lots of different things that you can do that way, and then it would be the same that you would drag and drop it, okay? If you have a favorite recipe that you like to make and you want to have that in here so you can easily add it to your list, you can go through and you can just put the ingredients in. Let's say you're going to have your favorite taco salad. You can put in your ground beef or your chicken. You can put in your lettuce, all that stuff. Or if you go to the side here and click on My Recipes, if you click this Create New button, you can actually put in your own recipe. So maybe you're going to put in Mom's spaghetti sauce recipe. Again, you don't need to do this if you don't want to, but one thing that's kind of nice is that, you know, you put in your prep time, you put in all this stuff, you'll put your ingredients in here, how many servings it makes, and then your cooking instructions. But you can actually calculate the nutrition for your own family favorite recipes too. So that's kind of nice. Sometimes you do that and then you go, oh wow, that meal is pretty high in salt. Maybe there's a way we can adjust this or something like that. So that can be helpful. Or maybe you have diabetes and you're trying to watch your carbs and it's helpful for you to know exactly how many grams of carbs are in a meal that you enjoy. This would be a great way that you could do that. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel out of that for right now. So let's say that this is all I want to put on my menu for the week. I'm just going to either bring leftovers for lunch or I have something else figured out and I'm not really worried about my snacks. So now that I have my week the way that I want it to, I'm going to create my grocery list. But remember, my week goes from Monday to the following Sunday. So I'm going to click this little drop down button and click select a date range. Okay, so now I'm going to go from July 30 to, gotta move over, Sunday, August 5. So now it tells me that's what my grocery list is going to go from 30th to the 5th. And I can do this however I want to. I could even plan out 2 weeks at a time if I wanted to, or a week and a half, whatever I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to click done. And I'm going to make a new grocery list, July 30 list, and click create. And I'm ready to go look at my grocery list. So I click go to my list. So once this loads, there are a few things that I can play around with here too. If I want to, maybe I remembered, oh shoot, you know, I need to get toothpaste. You know, I'm not going to put that on my meal planner for the week, but I can add it here. So I click, type in new toothpaste, click add, and it tells me toothpaste was added to pharmacy and personal hygiene. So it actually categorizes these things for you. And maybe I remember I need to get some more napkins too. Napkins were added to household products. So I can add any of those types of things too. I'm about out of dish soap too, so I'm going to put that on. Also added to household products, okay? On the side, it's also going to tell me how many servings of everything I chose. So the number that's on the left is, and this little pop-up tells you that, but the number on the left is the original recipe servings. The number on the right is what you scaled it to. So that's what your shopping list is actually going to be for, okay? So that shows me that. And then I have my different categories. So I have canned goods, condiments, cereal and dry packaged goods, all that stuff. And I can go down and it'll show me my whole grocery list, okay? So that is kind of a nice thing. Now I can access this grocery list from my mobile app and cross it off on there while I'm shopping, or I can log in to modernmeal.com on my phone and do it that way too. Either way is fine. You also have the option up here to print it if you like to have a paper list instead. You know, you can still add all your own items and then print it, or you can email it. Maybe someone else is going to do the shopping for you, or you, for whatever reason, you want to email it. So you can do all those things from there, okay? You can adjust the categories, the order that they're put in. So, you know, at the top of my list, I had canned goods first, right? That's what's right here. If I wanted fruits and vegetables to come up first, I would pull that up to the top. I can also do this through my settings and preferences up here. And now fruits and vegetables are at the top of my list, and then canned goods are next, right there. Okay. Right now, you can't, this order won't change when you open it up on the app. It will still be alphabetical, but if you open it up from the mobile website at modernmeal.com, it will be in this order. So if it's important to you to be able to change the order to your store layout, you want to access it from the website instead of from the app for right now. They're working on changing that, but it might be just a little bit. Okay, so those are my lists. If I go back to see all lists, I can see this is an old list. Maybe I don't want that to show up anymore. So from here, I can just select it. Here, I can mark it as shopped, unshopped, or I can delete it. So I'm going to delete it. And it says this isn't reversible. So are you sure? And I say, yep, I already got that stuff. I don't need that on there. Okay. You could even make a different list. Maybe you want to have a separate, maybe you make your one list for your main grocery store, and then you want to create a Walmart or Target grocery list too for your more household things. You can make a different separate list for that if you want to. Okay, so that's the grocery list. Now if I go back to my planner, there are a couple other things I want to show you quick. From this page, I can click this print button at the top. Whoops, I was on the wrong week. Let me get this to the right week. There we go, July 29th. If I click this print button, it will give me a weekly calendar so I can see what I put on for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks if I want to. And if I just print this print calendar, it'll just print that calendar, right? Or I can click this print 7 recipes and it's going to print all of my dinner recipes. So those are my meal squeeze recipes, okay? You can also just use the PDF copies that we email if you prefer that layout where it's side by side instead of top and bottom. One thing that you do need to know if you are using the app, the mobile app primarily, is that right now the recipes don't scale on there. So anytime you pull up a recipe from the app, it will still be 4 servings. So if you're on a different size serving plan, you want to make sure that you either use the PDF copies we send or you print or view your recipes from modernmeal.com instead of from the app, okay? And again, that's something that will probably be changing in the near future, but they're working on lots of new things, so it just will take a little bit. So that is the rundown of what you can all do. Lots of things. There are a million more features in here too, but in an effort not to overwhelm right now, I'm just going to focus on those basic ones, and I'll be popping back in every so often and going through a couple other features that are available to you. But please, as you take time to look through it, let me know if you have questions. You can email me at tanya@mealsqueeze.com. And I'm just so anxious to hear feedback from you guys on how it's working out for you. So have a great day.